just wanna watch you. And when you're ready, I wanna make love. Now tell me, is that wrong? 'Cause I don't wanna be right. Now tell me, is that wrong? 'Cause I don't wanna be right. You are as sweet as jasmine. 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 They say you never know what you got till it's gone. But I know what I got 'cause I got you right here. And I never wanna be put in a position to have you disappear. Now tell me, is that wrong? 'Cause I don't wanna be right. Now tell me, is that wrong? 'Cause I don't wanna be right. You are as sweet as jasmine. So sweet to me, baby. You are as sweet as jasmine. Say it to me, girl. You are as sweet as jasmine. You are as sweet as jasmine. Could you be my sugar, darling love? 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 You are as sweet as jasmine. You are as sweet as jasmine. You are as sweet as jasmine. You got so much soul, baby. You got so much soul. Sweet as jasmine. You got so much soul, baby. You got so much soul. So I had gone to this Thai joint, and I sat down, and I ordered my food, and they asked me what I wanted to drink. I asked for jasmine tea, and that's when it came to me. It felt so good, so good, taking that for a sip. And it's like when I'm with you, so good and so sweet. You want my jasmine? You want my jasmine?
You're listening to Elevations Radio, your station for uplifting lifestyle and wellness talk radio.
Have you ever did something for so long, and when you realized it was wrong, you were upset with yourself? I have voted the ticket since I was 18 years old, out of ignorance. No more voting the ticket. Each candidate is on the same footing, and I have to pick the Dem that has my best interests at heart. Not the interests of the party, but of the people. May the 8th, vote for Ivanka Hall, candidate for Ohio State Representative District 12. I'm not on the establishment ticket. I don't deserve the seat because of who I know. I deserve the seat because I have the qualifications and experience to serve.
Paid for by the Friends of Ivanka Hall.
Views expressed on shows are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its management, or other advertisers. Use of these shows and all services provided therein are for personal use only. The Elevations Radio Network holds no responsibility for the validity or accuracy of information on these shows.
fam? Welcome to the Let's Be Real show with Greg Bam Reaves here on elevationsradio.com. I am your host, Greg Bam Reaves, and I'd like to welcome back my co-host, beautiful Benita.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
How was the trip?
Excellent.
I didn't tell everybody where you went because that ain't their business.
That's okay. I have no problem. No, I was down in Florida, spent some time in Cape Coral, South Beach, and over in the Bahamas.
That's great.
And everything was peaceful and beautiful weather, and that's all I want.
I would say I'm jealous, but, it was you that went, so I'll share in your joy. Speaking of birthdays, I want to send a happy birthday today to my guest last week, Donna Price, and also my mother, who would have been 79 today. And miss you, Ma. I love you. Happy birthday in heaven.
Happy birthday.
The Let's Be Real show is growing. It's a work in progress. We're going to be making some changes and just trying to make it better. I hope you all enjoy it so far. We're going to do some things to make it better. One of the things I decided to do, I always start the show off with a little current event conversation. And I noticed that most of my current events are like bad news. Sad, like that dude in the White House. So I've decided that from now on, all my current event stuff is going to be positive, good news.
Well, and I have to say, sometimes bad news is not always bad news if you could take something and learn something from it.
That's true, but we get it from everywhere, so we don't need it here.
You're right, because I thought you was going to come with the story of the 4-year-old who was killed by... That's what I thought you were going to come with.
Mm-mm. As a matter of fact... I got some children's stuff, but not
okay,
that
that's
one.
not... Okay, that's
I'm just, we're so oversaturated with negativity. I just want to
focus on...
be the positive voice in radio.
Okay. That's fair.
So first of all, I want to give congratulations to Ava DuVernay. I hope I said her name right, DuVernay. She was the director of A Wrinkle in Time, and she is now set to direct DC Comics. Is trying to get like Marvel. They're starting it. She's directing a DC Comics New Gods.
Okay.
Which is I don't know how new it is. I'm not in the comics anymore. Mm-hmm. But I know it's like a second generation or something comics at DC. Okay. And they're about to start doing, they've been doing movies, but they're trying to go in the way of Marvel and do a little bit more. So she's directing that, and I think that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
She's the second female director to do a DC comic movie after Patty Jenkins did Wonder Woman.
Okay.
So sister's getting some work out there in Hollywood. That's cool. And speaking of which, this is why I want to talk about the kids. 14-year-old girl, Taylor Richardson, raised $17,000 to help 1,000 girls go see A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, wonderful.
Now, I don't know. I have the slightest the slightest idea. I was about to say idea included at the same time.
I know, say that.
I don't have the slightest idea what the movie's about. All I know is Oprah's in it, and she's looked like a fairy princess or something.
And that's the only reason I want to see it.
Yeah, it looks like a little girl. I mean, a girl's movie. So,
yeah.
But I think it's great that this 14-year-old, her goal was $15,000, and she raised $17,455.
Did they say how?
GoFundMe.
Just to GoFundMe.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah.
She just wanted to get her
and that's
her
cool
girls,
because, a lot of people, they're so leery with these GoFundMes now. That's why I find that interesting that she got that much money because just on things that people...
I wish I'd have read more to find out exactly, like, her premise. Like, did she say, I just want to raise money so 1,000 girls to go to the movies?
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was more to it than that,
excellent.
but I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And let's see, thirdly, Salvation Army in Maryland, in Baltimore, just opened the first nonprofit grocery store, which is great because they actually have a butcher in-house, deli in-house. It's like all organic. So because we all know that it's difficult for people in the hood to get really good food, healthy food. So I think this is a great idea, and I hope it blows up. I hope there are more stores like this around the country. even stores like locally Save a Lot, they're starting to go organic because Aldi's already went organic.
I would say Aldi's. I didn't know Save a Lot did.
Save a Lot is doing that now.
Okay,
they're not totally organic yet.
But it's just a start because the biggest thing why people don't eat healthy, as they say, is because they can't afford it. Though, that's another. I have an issue with that though too because we afford a lot of other things. Yeah, but seriously, but that's what people say is too expensive. So I do appreciate that.
A lot of things our former First Lady tried to do.
Right.
Like get us to grow our own vegetables in different places. That stuff eventually got shot down by the powers that be. But this is all about positive news. So I'm not going to talk about that.
No, that's good.
Now, more positive news, talking about Baltimore. Kevin Durant just donated $10 million to help children in Maryland go and graduate college. Not just get there, but graduate also. And along with Kevin Durant, you got Chance the Rapper, who's working with Lyft to raise money for kids in Chicago schools. Dr. Dre just donated $10 million for Compton High School Performance Arts Center. Nice. Which I think, and that's what I'm talking about.
You know? That's huge. That's huge.
And this is all like combined with LeBron, whose I Promise School, public school is about to open up. Yeah. He's already sent like 10,000 kids to college, paid their tuition. Now he's opening up his own school.
That's why I say with Oprah, she does the same thing. You know, she sends the other boys to Morehouse. And it's like, unfortunately, there's other people who do this, but, you know, everybody doesn't announce what they do. But I say there's nothing wrong with announcing what you do because hopefully the trend, you know?
I agree. And there's a lot of celebrities that we know do this stuff, you know, behind the scenes.
Right, they don't say anything.
I think one of the reasons why these particular people are announcing it now is because of the comment, shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you donate like I am?
Right, exactly.
Maybe your neighborhood doesn't need help with their schools, but your community does.
Right.
You want to keep people from breaking in your house, give them an education so they can get their own,
fix
not
it.
want yours.
Right, I agree.
Again, staying away from negativity.
No, that's not negative. That's just calling it as it is.
I'm being silly. And I'm rushed through this because I got to get to my guest. I want her to be a part of this conversation. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch this up.
No. I mean, it's good stuff. It's stuff that needs to be put out. You know, people need to be celebrated. And I think that's when especially black communities, you know what I'm saying, we don't celebrate each other. So being a superstar, rapper, basketball player, regardless of the fact, if you're giving back, it definitely needs to be celebrated. So,
and that's just a little taste of what you're about to hear shortly from my guest that I'm going to introduce in a minute. Philando Castro. There is an organization, there's an actual person behind it, but they started a Philando Feeds to Children he was a supervisor in the kitchen at a school. Yeah. They are paying for kids' lunches. So if you can't afford to eat, you're going to eat.
Okay.
And that's
cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, all of this stuff, it was important to me to do this because it's like we forget how great we are. And sometimes we need to be reminded. We don't just sag our pants and have 5 babies and, you know what I'm saying, all the stuff we hear every day. We do way more than that.
And I even have to go one step further. So I don't even so much think that we forget. Some people just don't know how great we are.
Yeah, that's true, too. That's true.
It's one thing to forget, but just to never even know. I mean, I know for me, I learned about my greatness. It started in the home. My parents taught me how great you are. So when you get out into these streets, you know, just remember how great you are. But some weren't even taught their greatness.
You are very blessed and fortunate.
Yeah.
There's a lot that
they
weren't raised that way. And lastly, it's actually 2 more things. But first I want to say congratulations to my favorite TV show right now, The Chi. Got picked up for the 2nd season.
I just started watching that while I was in Florida, so I am. My dad. First of all, I laughed at my dad because he calls it Chi, and I said, "Daddy said Chi, Chicago Chi." But I thought that's cute because I know the season finale just came on. So I didn't watch it.
Season finale was last Sunday.
That's a great show.
Yeah, it is.
And I just never sat down and watched it.
It's really real. Not
real.
Not like The Wire real, which was real too, but this is different. It's like ordinary real.
Yeah, relatable real.
Yeah,
real.
Exactly.
Relatable
there you
real.
Go.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever heard of Sarah Rector?
No.
No.
And I'm saying Rector. Don't y'all get that twisted.
Rector.
Sarah Rector was the youngest black millionaire. Check this story out. She was like 10 or 11. Her parents were slaved by,
yes, I did.
Actually by Indians.
I know you don't.
And gosh, dog it, I just forgot the state. Anyway, when they became a state and not a territory, all the slaves were given land. And she was given some land, and her father had to pay like $30 a month taxes on it. He was about to sell it, but he
So me say you are the one me love.
yeah, I like that. He ended up leasing it to a company.
Yes. Someone talked about it during Black History Month.
Right.
That's how. Yep, I remember.
And her part, when she was 11 or 12, started making $300 a day.
Yep.
And by the time she was 18, she was a millionaire.
Yeah. And I didn't hear about it to this past Black History, but someone had posted her. And when I see things like that, I just find interest. So I Google them like I did now.
And just like we were talking about negative news, when this first happened, they were putting it out there like she was getting mistreated. Her money was being mismanaged. And W.E.B. Du Bois, some other, scholars came out there like they were concerned about her. None of that was true. They had moved to really like a 5-bedroom house or something, and were living good. And she went to a school, not Tuskegee, but it was a school for children at Tuskegee. She went to. She was doing very well. So the media has always kind of played a role in how we are looked at.
Yes, I agree.
Sabotage.
And lastly, the Dora, I can't pronounce this to save my life. The warriors, the women warriors in Wakanda, I mean the Black Panther, they're getting their own series.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean a comic book series.
I saw
which
that.
Eventually would definitely be a TV series or a movie.
Nice.
But and they just because they were a huge part of that movie. I mean,
it was powerful to see.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I mean, they were. Yeah,
they were.
It's their presence.
It was like they were warriors, but they weren't characterized as being like butch. They were still feminine.
Right.
They were definitely intimidating in a warrior kind of way.
Right.
I mean, they were just they were portrayed perfectly, in my opinion.
To me, they were portrayed the way women are supposed to be portrayed.
Absolutely.
We've changed the look of ourselves. So that to me is why feminine, sexy, but yet strong. We support. They stood behind their men. They weren't trying to be.
If you hear the actor that played the general, and she talks about the warriors, Dora Milaje, I think is what they call it. She said their whole thing is to move as one. That's why their movement is like everything they do, everybody is like, in line
in
step. Yeah.
The way we are supposed to move. We're supposed to be a unit. They trusted each other. They support each. To me, that's how they flow. To me, as how we were meant to.
Even when she had to go against her man, she still gave him a chance and respected him. And he in turn had to respect her like,
yes,
baby, you're right.
Yeah.
And he got on his knee like, bow down, dude.
Yeah, that's to me, they were powerful. They deserve that.
It was so powerful.
Powerful.
It just made me realize how powerful I was as a woman. Like, once I saw that movie,
That's what, for women. That's what stood out so much for us. Is these women,
as
the
support.
strength.
How women have taken some things so far as to when they talk about women's lib. But don't get me started on that because that's a whole nother subject.
Right.
A lot of women mad, but I'm like, women, we want the 3 Ps. Somebody posted today, we want protection. We want to be, protected and provided for and professed. And at the same time, you down talk everything, down talk your man, or be so disrespectful, or everything is, mine, about me, and it's, it's not like that. It was a powerful movie show that women are the neck, they support their king, their man, their, as a powerful
and they respect it. I love how they responded to it. They weren't intimidated by these strong women, because that's what we get a lot.
Because they were strong men too. Everybody in here were a unit, a family, a community for real. So you didn't see any disrespect,
jealousy,
even when the protagonist came into the picture. Yeah, his attitude was kind of disrespectful because he was mad.
Yeah,
he was mad at the world because of the way he was treated. But he still respected the tradition of I challenge you.
But that's what you get to me when you get they weren't colonized. They weren't,
exactly.
they weren't fed. But now what's being fed into our, the society. So that's what happens. So.
Okay, I can't wait anymore. Without further ado, I have to introduce our guest today. I'm so excited to have her here. The author of Uglies of the Beauty Salon novel series, Ms. BBC.
Hey.
Welcome to the Let's Be Real Show.
Welcome.
Hi, you guys? I'm so glad to be here. I know I was just chiming in.
I love it. I love it.
That's what happens.
I just hate it that people hearing your voice and like, who is she? Who's that?
Wakanda forever. Once that
that's right. I greet people at work like that. Yeah. You can't see me on radio. I'm crossing my arms.
All right.
Okay. So, Miss BBC, first of all, what does BBC stand for?
BBC has a few meanings. Actually, it started out as Big Body Chick.
Okay.
Because I was a voluptuous woman and I wanted to just stand out as that, and just, very powerful, building business creatively because I am a serial entrepreneur. So I have more under my belt than just being an artist, and beautiful beyond consciousness because my beauty stems from inside. I never thought I was physically beautiful, but I always knew that I had a beautiful heart. And once that I was unleashed like a unicorn or a Pegasus, I was unique and wonderful, and I wanted to take on the world.
Great.
I like that.
Now, what caught my eye about your books, and I'll confess I haven't read them, but I've got my own copy now, and I will. But the title, Uglies of the Beauty Salon, I'm thinking to myself, okay, she about to get a dirt because there's a lot of beauty salons out here. Like I don't know what city you're in. I mean, how beauty salons work there. Here we have like Horizon magazine and different hair magazines that are in barbershops all over the place where you see all these different beauty salons and nail salons. And I'm like, ooh, I better get, it's got to be like a dirty business. It's a competition. So this is what I'm thinking Uglies of the Beauty Salon novels are about, but that's not really it, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people
I'll let you
think
tell people.
That,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. I've had women, because when I first started out, my first book, actually this first one right here is a special edition. The first one, I self-published all my books, but I, did some editing and tried to do it myself. Yvonne Pointer was a very big part of it. She took me under her wing and took me around. But when I was going from shop to shop trying to introduce myself and sell my book, they were mad at me like, because you guys, and I was like, they were some movie that Chris Rock had done or something.
Good hair
or something.
That was on the other day.
I guess they thought that it was like something to that. And I was like, wow. I'm like, well, because you deal with all different types of things in beauty salons, outside of beauty salons. But I worked in beauty salons. My first beauty salon I worked in was Patty G's, which was on 123rd and Saywell. And then I went on from there and worked in a salon in Akron. And then my sister, which is my play sister, she took me under her wing and kind of adopted me. She opened up her own salon, which was Simply the Best Beauty Salon. And working with different people and seeing different, as a nail tech and a massage therapist, a beauty salon is like, it's like therapy. You go there, you're relieving yourself to someone's hands, and you're confessing your stories, your problems, your happiness. Sometimes your stylist is the first person you tell, I got a promotion, or I got a divorce, or these kids getting on my nerves. So, and talking to different women constantly all the time and hearing these stories, it just becomes like, wow, and we're sharing these stories. I mean, we were all family. We were more than just coworkers and friends. And it was just like we lived like this life where we really were powered over people, So Uglies of the Beauty Salon started off as a poem. And it just was like my, homegirl had read it, because I used to carry my laptop around like it was a phone or something. And she read it. She was like, "Oh my God, like you're such amazing writer. Why you never write a book?" And I'm like, and I stayed in trouble a lot, like a whole lot. I was always in trouble. I actually been arrested 27 times. I've been to prison once. And it's weird to say because people be like, "Oh my, no, you're such a sweetie pie." But, you grow up in a life like, she was expressing about her life. You have people to push you and stuff like that, when you don't have that. And sometimes you grow up with anger and hurt and, you kind of take on this role and become, what they create in you, not who you are.
Right.
And that process, these girls that I work with, we were a family, we're a foundation. So it kind of like, wow, it built off of there. I was like different. I was always just, I always felt unloved. So I just started to write this poem. And it just started to grow and grow. And then I started to add to it. And then it became about this young girl that didn't have much family. And her mom sold her off. And she ended up being adopted by her neighbor, which was an ex-boxer. And she always wanted to do hair, but he taught her how to box. That's how she got her money to open her salon. And she made the salon her shop family.
Okay.
But then she found out that it's all these lies and betrayal and all kind of stuff happening. And then she has a problem with her own life that she is trying to overcome, but at the same time save her family. And it becomes so dramatic that she loses someone very close to her, and she don't know how to adapt to her, to the role, because she's always been the protector, provider,
Right.
She just wanted to have a family. And it just, it went on, and people were like, we're ready for part 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh goodness, like y'all reading faster than I can write.
Right.
And it grew. I would write on the bus, and I had lost my car. Like I was writing everywhere, anywhere that I could be. I would go to a restaurant, and people would see me with this laptop bag, and I would be gone. And when I first started writing, the laptop I had was really old, and it busted, and I lost everything. And so I'm trying to write, and I'm trying to remember, and I'm like I'm a loser. Like, I mean, God, I shouldn't even be doing this anyway. So I get so down on myself. And one of my friends, her husband, was just really good with everything. He ended up being able to somehow take the drive out and connect it to something and get half
Extract all the...
he got half of it back. And so then I just went from there, and I started again or whatever. But I think that was just, it was, a lesson. And then it was like, it got better, because sometimes when I go back and read, I can't believe that I made this up. Like, I have these stories inside of me, and this power of making people feel and understand, or feel the sexiness of, one of the episodes, or feel the sadness or whatever, when they call me like, girl, I can't stop crying. Why'd that have to happen to her? And it's just like, that makes me feel like, wow, like you can touch somebody with what you're doing. I've been writing since I was like, that I know I wrote something decent. I was 8. But each time it's just like, wow, like I put out a book, I'm an author, like that. It's amazing to me. And it feels so good to be able to say, hey, regardless of the fact if one person purchased the book or anything, if you look me up and I'll die tomorrow, you would know that I was an author. So that's a blessing.
I'll say the same thing. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. We are here with the author of Uglies of the Beauty Salon novel series, Ms. BBC. I was sitting there listening. I'm thinking the same thing. My next question is going to be, why do you write? I have 2 poetry books outright. I never intended on writing poetry books. I want to write novels, movies, plays, song lyrics, all that. But a poet that I admire greatly, misunderstood, Lisa Williams, she threatened me to put out a book, and I did. But I tell people all the time, I write because I have to.
It's therapy.
Like it's
therapy.
So many stories in my head. I have to write one to make room for the next one.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, like, why do you write?
It started off as a nervous condition, you know, and I would just scribble on everything. I always was scribbling on something. And as a teenager, I was really depressed, you know. And so, let me see, I was probably about 12 or 13, and I wrote this poem. And it was so sad. I mean, now that I go back and read it, it was so sad. It was suicidal. And my teacher, you know, we all had to write a poem. It was English class. You had to write something. Right. And I wrote it, and it was like, ugh. At the time, it was nothing to me. I was just like, hey, I'm about to take all these people out, and then I'm going to take myself out or whatever. But she read it, and she took it to the therapist, and, you know, and they called me. And so she said, I want to say you have an A+, because, oh, my goodness, it's beautiful, but it's scary. It's so sad, and we just want to know what's the matter. And I burst out in tears. So it's therapy. Like writing therapy. Sometimes is just, you know, it's a freedom of expression.
Yeah, definitely.
And
to me, it's like singers.
Yeah.
And we have to write. Yeah, but it's
and I'm an artist too. I'm a reggae artist, so I'm always writing. Something poetry. If you look at my Facebook page, you're gonna see a poem. You're gonna see something. You're gonna see inspiration. You're gonna see empowerment. You know, if I'm mad at society, you know, I'm gonna express it in writing because it is therapy for me. But it uplifts. It gives power. It makes somebody happy. It makes somebody sad. It's emotional. Anything that is written down it touches someone in some way.
Well, you have to release certain things, either verbally or writing, because if you keep it inside, it gets pent up and it's going to come out in maybe a more violent way.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the things. I gotta say what's up to what's his name, Rashad. In Malaysia. Malaysia is becoming one of our biggest listeners. So I want to say hello to him in Malaysia and the rest of the world, because I know we got some Russians listening to us also. South Africa, what's up? France, and all over the world. We aren't, we're not just in Cleveland. We are all across the country and around the world.
And that's dope. So, what I told a lot of people,
right.
in my reggae family, a lot of people in
we gonna
Africa.
Get you on Oprah's bestsellers list.
Yes, I'm telling you. I be reaching out to her, Oprah, somebody. I was like, I was trying to get on the Queen Latifah show. I was sending my books to Steve Harvey.
Tyra Banks.
Everybody. Oh, my goodness. And what's her name? I love her. Ellen. Oh, my God. I would love to go on her story.
That's what I said. I want to go on hers, but I want to meet Oprah one day, too.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to meet her.
Our shows are after each show. I put them on YouTube, so maybe the right person to see it. We have to take a quick break. This time goes by way too fast. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Miss BBC. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. And like I say every week, we got the best music in radio. Check us out.
Your day has finally come here. The band best is yet to come. We just begun at the reception. Celebration up in here. Everybody showing love on this day that you dreamed of. Got you smiling from ear to ear. Your day has finally come here. The best is yet to come. We just begun at the reception. At the wedding reception.
We are back, and that was Emmett Foster with Wedding Reception. I'm telling you, I love the music on this radio station. You got to check it out, and you won't hear it anywhere else. All these indie artists send their music straight to us on elevationsradio.com. You won't hear it anywhere else. So we are back with the author of Uglies of the Beauty Salon novel series. Got 2 books out, with a 3rd one on the way, right?
Yes, actually, yeah. Well, for the series, I have the 3rd one on the way, but I also have 2 other books that are being worked on as well.
Okay.
For the love of reggae, it's coming out, and it's kind of a hype off of the book. When Did You Fall in Love with Hip Hop?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like When Did You Fall in Love with Reggae, and it's all the Cleveland. Reggae artists, all the selectors, all the promoters, I'm interviewing them and getting their spice on how they fell in love with, doing reggae music and what made them get started and everything like that, starting from Carlos Jones, which is one of the biggest artists here, which he is going to be with, actually, I'm singing with him on March 31st at Angels Sports Bar and Grill.
Well, say that one more time.
Angels Sports Bar and Grill on...
and that's located where?
4030 Mayfield Road in South Euclid. The old Jack's right behind the barbershop.
Yeah,
so definitely we're going to be up there, and it's going to be really hype, really awesome. It's an acoustic show, so he's bringing a guitar out, and...
Carlos John's gonna be there?
Yes.
No, because I know they used to have their reggae night there. So they still do that?
They have the Wednesdays reggae nights, but this is going to be a Saturday.
Okay.
And she's doing a lot of live bands. She has jazz and the Cavaliers night. So it's going to be really, really dope. I'm so excited about it. I've worked with him before. He's truly amazing. I mean, when you say the most amazing spirit, he's definitely that.
Now, I do have a question about your book, because I'm asking this because I'm going to do a short film one day, and I've always wanted to do one. How much of your story do you put in your novels? And I say that because someone was telling me as far as putting yourself in your own work.
Yeah.
So do you put
Yeah.
I got a really good answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because you're writing it.
Right. It's like you can't help it, but that's
you
so much
can't
your
help
opinion.
but to put yourself in it. I honestly probably have maybe about 40% of me in my book.
Okay.
Because I'm also an intimacy consultant, and I believe in ultimate pleasure. So I write about sensuality and intimacy and connection, also on a sexual empowered level. That can be, because as women, if you're too sexual, you're considered a whore.
Right.
Excuse me, can I say whore?
Nope.
Sorry. But
I'm kidding.
yeah, so in the process of everything, I like to speak about men being more openly, intimately, and women being more openly open, sexually, but more on a sensual level than just raw out, you know. Yeah, so I think giving a lot of that on both sides, I think that it helps with the softness of being a woman, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
I love women that represent themselves as strong, but still with a sensual assertiveness. And people don't get that from me. A lot of people think that I'm very aggressive. I have aggressive demeanor, but I believe as a woman, you always have to have that sensuality. So you find a lot of that in my writing.
Okay.
I want to say real quick, I apologize. I said Rashad. His name is Ahmad in Malaysia. My bad. I wasn't even close. But
close.
Real quickly, I want to give my own little answer to that.
Okay.
I was a huge fan of Terry McMillan. I actually wanted to be the male Terry McMillan. For real.
That's Michael Baston.
Yes,
no, he's
absolutely.
not.
I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
See,
Not.
to women.
Yeah, because you haven't read mine yet.
Okay.
Anyway, I ain't hitting no mic because it's gonna be on YouTube. But no, seriously, I've read every book she ever wrote, except for like the last two because they were kind of. Anyway, so when I first read Mama, and I read her like biography, I'm like, that's her.
Yeah.
Like that is her. She just changed the names.
Yeah.
Each book she wrote, Disappearing Acts, that was about her son's father, for real. I Still Got Her Groove Back. That was her and her husband. So it's like, for me personally, when I write, first of all, everything I write is like a child of mine. I gave birth to it.
Absolutely.
So that makes it me. But I think, like she did with some of her, like Wait and Exhale,
Right.
she's all four characters, different parts of who she is. Every character I write is part of me, except for the female characters. But it does come from either a woman I've known,
So
my
someone a part
mother,
of
daughter. No. Well,
When I say a part of you, someone.
I mean, there's some that I just make up because it's like my dream girl. So yeah, that's still kind of part of
That
me.
is to me. That's a part of you.
I don't know if you can make up something that's
Not a part
you know
of
what I
you.
mean?
At least your thoughts, because that's a part of my thoughts are a part of me.
That's true. That's
so
true.
that's what I say a part.
But yeah, and and we're interviewing you. I'm just getting carried away real quick. No, when I write, it's like when I draw. Once I'm done, I'm done. I won't go back and redo something because I think that was the way it was supposed to be. So that's just my style.
To me, it's like that's how your work stays authentic.
Oh no, you're powerful. When I write, trust me, if someone does not distract me, I'm going back in, and I'm like, no, she needs to be more. She needs to have on purple because that's a passion color, or this. Like, I will go in, and I'll just be like, let me see. I could have done so much better. Like, I am my biggest critic when it comes to. So I would sit there. Oh my goodness, like one phrase, I would just ponder over it forever. Like, okay.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could do that. I'm like this. Like, when a story comes to my head, I have to get it out on paper because it's like watching a movie and I'm taking notes and, obviously your mind moves faster than your hand.
That's why I'm glad these little computers.
But the one thing, I learned is I can stop writing right now, do whatever, And when I'm ready to write again, it'll come right back. Like it's just stored there.
That is true.
So when you write, let me ask you this. Do you already know the beginning and the end? And you just fill in the middle?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Once I start, sometimes I sit at the computer, I don't have an idea what the next chapter is going to be or what she's going to do. My characters are so real to me when I'm talking about them. And if you know me, I'm like, oh my God, D got on my nerve today. I talk about them like we are living and existing together. So like, my sister is and my sissy, my cousins, and I'm like, they know. They're like, what you doing? And I'm like, G-Ma. She's just out of control today. She made me mad. Like, she's not doing what I want her to do. Yeah. So I never know. And then something might happen, and it's just like, and I'm like, oh, snap. Yeah, that's what she did next. And then a story will come out of that.
Do you have to sometimes put her down and come back like even a month later?
Yes.
Just to,
Yes.
Because you hear that a lot, too.
I'm going through that right now, actually. I had some financial difficulties at the end of last year. So I was supposed to put both books out, the reggae book and the part 3, but I didn't. However, because the book is I'm so passionate about it and I'm so connected to the characters, I was like, I got really, really caught up in the sadness of one story, and I had to put it down. And with everything that I was going through, it was just like, so I put it down. And then when I went back, so each day, like with this, with your phone, which is a computer, I call it, I'm like, okay, this happened and this. So then I can just add to as I'm going. But it has been probably, I'm going to say a month about 3 weeks since I actually wrote, because I don't believe in writer's block. It's a excuse to me. That's called a procrastination. Yeah. But I did. I just got overwhelmed, and I had to pause for a second because it's so emotional.
Now you say you're writing 2 books right now at the same time. That's not distracting?
No, because they're like it's too. Because with the interviews, it kind of like writes itself.
Okay.
Right. And, it's like they write their stories, I'm questioning them, but then I express my experience with them. Okay. With this, because it is fiction-based, it comes like, this is like, like a part of living every day. So it just like becomes a part of me. And I'm a person like I have to play the radio and the TV at the same time. I need distraction.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with distraction. Okay.
Now, have you ever written yourself into a corner? What I mean by that is my very first time ever trying to write a book, I had this one particular character. He lived in the projects, but he was not a dope man or anything like that, but he wanted the people where he lived to believe he was. He got himself in a situation messing with this former girlfriend of a dope man. And I didn't want this character to have any violence. But as I'm writing this, and the story is flowing, then I get to this part, I'm like, oh God, there's no way to get this character out this situation without there being some violence, or it would not be real. I could have did it, but it would have been so fake. And to keep it real, I'm like, man, and I actually stopped writing that particular story.
No, my lead character, D, because the way she grew up and she was power, she was the head of the family of the shop. She was supposed to fix everything, but she could not live this perfect life, right? So she had to, have drama, and so writing her into the drama, it hurt my feelings because it was like, wow, like she had already, been through so much as a child, and then she wanted this life, and she finally got it, but she couldn't be perfect, it was just no way. So we had to, I had to create some drama for her, and it got you know, it was like no way out of it, no way out of it. So it kind of lingered on, which is actually the power of the story. So it just, you know, it happens. Sometimes you can't find a way out. You have to, because it's not finding a way out. You know, some things have to happen because in real life,
you get backed in the corner sometime in real life. You gotta find a way out.
Yeah.
It's funny how, like, when you start to write a story, you're like the parent, but as the story develops, you become the child because the characters dictate where they want to go. You might want this character to go here, but the character like, no, that's not who I am. That's not who you made me to be.
I'm standing up in a chair. I be screaming at the, you know, the computer or whatever. I'm like going like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. Like, I am really so drawn into it. When I connect with my book, I'm so dramatic. It's like, I can't even take myself out of it sometimes. Like, I'm up. I'm like, okay, she is. Oh, you know, I'm screaming at everything. And it's so funny because people that are around me that, you know this or whatever, they're like, oh my God, what'd she do? What? Who was it? Who? G Mama? You know, and they're like, wanting to know. Even my daughter is so funny. And, but it's like, it's so inspiring because it's like, you cannot wait till what's going to happen next. Wait till the next chapter. And as it go on, you know, it's like, you feel empowered. You feel, you feel everything. You feel the sadness. You feel like, you know, like anything that you do, it is your baby. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is you do, it's your baby. And you definitely have to, you know, you have to groom it. You have to grow it. You have to promote it. You have to do so many things to get it going. And I think this is where a lot of people get discouraged. Like you were saying, it is a lot of talent. It is a lot of creative people in our own world around us. But the fear of not being able, or, you know, of no support, you know, I mean, for real, Cleveland is the hardest place I've, you know, ever had to try to make it in. I mean,
like they say, if you can make it in Cleveland, you can make it anywhere.
I'm telling you, I quit at least once a day. I give myself 5 minutes to cry. My website had to, you know, come down, and I stayed in the bed for 2 weeks because I built it myself. You know what I'm saying? Every little picture, every little cutout, every little, you know, Chrome and all you have to do, and all the multi-managing and micro-manage, you know, I did on my own. So I had to shut it down because it wasn't getting enough exposure. But in the process, you know, it hurt me because it was something that I built, I created, I developed on my own. So, you know, though in those, you know, aspects or whatever, people are so afraid to get out. And like, I can go to the South, I can go, you know, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Atlanta, and I can sell out everything. I will come back with nothing, you know, and I try to vendor and do all these things or whatever. But I mean, when you're in Cleveland, I set up at a vendor and it could be 20 people there that are blood family members, 50 people that live in the same neighborhood as me, everything. And I will probably come back with half of what I left with. And it's just like, you feel so sad, you know. But one of my biggest inspirations also was Philly Whedon. You know, I was in one of his plays, God Gift to Women. And
where was that at?
We did that at the convention center. I mean,
on Mayfield.
Yeah, no. We were downtown. The
Walston.
CSU. Yeah.
I didn't make it to that.
Walston.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's a big inspiration. Because I went to Atlanta and saw one of his plays, and I purposely went there to support him in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's so dope. And he I would inbox him like, why? You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was going to ask you. What was your inspiration? Because I understand with that, being an entrepreneur in Cleveland, what got you out the bed? What got you back out?
I was like, okay. Well, my husband, he's an international reggae artist. His name is Aya Engi. We just released his new album, and, you know, with the music, but my people, you know, like, people were like reaching out to me. My sissy, you know, she was not having it. You know, him, my daughter, my reggae family, they were like, hey, whatever, we love you, but the music, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like people like you're the bomb, like whatever, like, come on, we need you. You're our inspiration. You can't fall off. So it was very inspiring to have the love of so many people, knowing that they really believed in me and that they see something in me that I wasn't at that
you
point.
Don't see it yourself. I
absolutely,
agree.
and that's what you were just saying. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to the end of the show, and I want to ask you about ending. How do you end your books? Like, how can you say?
How do you know it's it?
Okay, this is it because I got to stop now because I got to make a second book. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I asked before. I'm like, do you know the beginning and end before you start writing? Because how do you end? How do you know?
It ends itself. Like you once you're writing and when you listening to the. It's once you listening to. Like, once you reading it and you see that end coming, you have to grab it. Don't overthrow yourself.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know that, and it's like the end of the show. Like, when you're watching your favorite show, you're dang, we're going to have to wait till next. When it's coming.
Like, This Is Us. Every time I say, I'm like, no, I got to wait till the next season. No, because I say that, and let me tell you why. I really admire writers because I'm a talker. I'm not a writer. And people always say, Benny, why don't you write a book? I'm like, no, because I'm a talker. I don't do well. And I don't know when to shut up.
Do a verbal book. They have those coming out now.
Yeah, I'm a talker, and I'm like, I admire people that can sit down and write. I'm like, put me on a talk show. And that's what people always call my sister. And I'm like,
you are on a talk show? No.
No, that's why I said, be careful what you say. People always say, you need to be on the... My dad was the first one to say, you need to be on the radio because of your voice. And then as far as talking, people like, Benita, you got so much to say and you don't have no problem saying it. And I have opinions about things and I don't judge things. But no, I'm like, I don't know when to end. But I think in a book, maybe it'll be different when you're writing.
It
you
is.
just know.
You see it.
Something tells you.
Yeah, you just know. It's like while you're like, okay. And then it was nighttime. It comes to that point. Like, but some people sometimes go over and that's when you see stuff drag on, and you're like,
okay,
oh, is she gonna die yet? Like, goodness, or whatever. So it comes to that point where you're like, this is the end, and it just shuts off, and it's perfect. Or you're like, and then she closed her, or then she opened her eyes.
Right.
And then you end it right there because it's like she opened her eyes, and then what?
Right.
What happened?
Leave them hanging. Make them buy the next book.
Yeah. So it comes. It'll show itself.
Yeah.
Well, with that, not to interrupt, I'm sorry, but like when you say the end, so do you know sometimes as you get to the end if it's going to be a part 2? Because do you start off saying I'm going to make this a 1 and a 2?
No.
Okay.
It was honestly like a poem, and then they said, hey, write a book. And then I wrote the book. So then when it came to the end of the book, and I don't want to give it away because I really want to
I'm going to read it because you've already made me interested in reading it.
Right.
But it's like, oh my goodness, this has to be a part 2.
So that's how you get that. Okay.
Yeah. So it just came to that, and then my homegirl Shamara was just like, oh yeah, oh my God, I can't wait. Like, she was on it every time. Like, did you write today? What'd you write? I gotta read it.
So you do share as you're writing with other people?
Yeah. Only 2 people that I shared with. That was it. Like,
I did the same thing with my first 2. Because because of their reaction, I would write 5 pages. I had to write 5 pages every single day. And I let them read the 5 pages. And I always ended the same way, like, man, why'd you stop right there? I wanted that reaction.
Right.
So, I was just wondering if you shared as you're writing.
Because you have to get, especially readers, you want to get that feedback of what someone is feeling. So, it's really dope. Part 3 is coming out soon. And 3 months, actually. I'm giving myself 3 months. Every author should give themselves 3 months. And it's called Ugly Revenge, Part 3. And I'm thinking that is going to be it for this series.
Let me read these 2 and I'll let you know.
You never know what's going to happen. I'm really excited. I'm also working on a children's book. It's called... He Touched Me, Don't Touch Me. And it's a book to help our children with, bad touch, good touch, molestation, touch, which they don't do anymore. They used to come to the schools and everything like that. And I think that it's getting more it's getting worse with children being molested and abused and everything like that. And you know, I don't know how you guys grew up, but I grew up in, you know, you don't tell nothing that goes on. What happened in this house stays in this house.
Right.
I was a child that was molested, and I didn't tell anybody until I was older, but it just really bad. And I think that this should be taught to our kids. Children need to be reading more books and away from technology, and that's how I'm feeling. So I read to my nephews all the time, and their mother and their dad read to them all the time. It's very important.
Okay, so before we go, give us your contact info. Where can they get the books? Where can they contact you? Where can they get your... You said your husband is doing what? You got an album?
Yes, he has an album out.
Give us all the info.
Yes,
spill the beans.
I want to come to the show on the 31st.
You can tell everything in this house.
Yeah.
Tell it all in our house.
I'm on Amazon. You can go to www.amazon.com or www.createspace.com. You can find me on there, Miss BBC. Uglies of the Beauty Salon on Instagram, Miss BBC, Facebook, Miss BBC, or Chryst Duden. That's CHRYST DUDEN. You can also find Aya Engi, which is my husband. He is an international reggae artist, and you can find him on Aya Engi. That's IYAINGI. He has where we have T-shirts. His new single out, "Color Me Black." It's a very powerful and inspiring song about loving the skin that you're in and also loving who you love. It doesn't matter if you are white, purple, green. If you love the skin of a person of color, you should be proud of it and don't hide it. You can also find him on Instagram as Aya Engi also. We're building his website up right now, and my website is under construction because I am bringing it back more powerful and stronger than ever.
There you go. There you go.
Good for you.
And, you know, like I said, we have the show with Carlos Jones on March 31st, and also a all-female reggae show on May 25th with some very powerful reggae singers. It's going to be at the Grog Shop. It's called Reggae Women Rock Against Cancer, and it's very powerful. We got Sister T from John Messenger. We got Jata Marie, which is a very powerful singer. Barbara Barrett. She's a very, very beautiful singer. Myself and my new background singers, which is called Conscious Eye. So you guys look out for that. Please follow us. You will see everything that we have going on. And make sure I'm always supporting new artists every day, new authors. You will always see something wonderful from me.
Okay. Benita?
Yes.
Give us something, what you do.
Well,
give us your info. I mean, I know you say it every week, but
no, that's cool because every week, because it has something to do with what I do. No, as a massage therapist, and I get into massage therapy. People say, it's crazy when my clients today say, "Can you get into massage therapy and not acknowledge the spiritual side?" I say, "Yes, you can," but I say it depends on how you acknowledge the energy, and I'm an energy person, so that's why reggae is my favorite genre because I love the energy and the spirit of that music. It's the best spirit for me. So with that, I'm a massage therapist at Everything by Face, but I also do my own thing, that's another thing coming up soon. But I'm a massage therapist, and I'm all about taking care of the mind, body, and soul. That's my preference.
All right.
That's my mission.
Once again, I am Greg Bam Reaves. I'm also DJ Bam, and I'm available. You can contact me at qtpllc@yahoo.com. You can contact the show, Let's Be Real 63 at yahoo.com. Got any show ideas, any guests you want us to have? And we might have to have your husband on.
Yeah, do a reggae segment. That'll be dope.
Right now, we're in the midst of my authors series. I got some more authors coming up next couple of weeks. What else do? I sell sanitary pads. Yes, I do. For the Inspire Network. I'm also working with my econs, so I do a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades. And hopefully, prayerfully, for sure, my first published novel will be out by Christmas.
There you go. Yeah. You have to put out there in the universe.
That's
put
right.
it out there. Yes. Oh, big up Sunshade. Sorry, I wanted to say that. That's my homeboy. He just put out a CD. Very proud of him. All the guys, everybody in the reggae community. I love y'all.
And let me tell everybody something. Writing a book can seem easy to some people. it's really kind of easy because you just had a gift. But what's hard is staying with it because life can get in the way. You have to make time, whatever it is that you do, not just a writer, whatever your dream is, you got to give yourself time every single day. Put it aside, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating. Put some time away every single day, and you will get there. One step at a time, you'll get there. So we got to go. It was such a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
We're going to have to have you back.
Great energy. Great energy.
When next book come out, I'm here. My CD drop in November. I'm here.
There you go. So we had you on a couple of days this year. But as I always say, develop your hunger for knowledge and feed it. Pick up a book and read it. Set a goal and see it through. And always, always believe in you. Peace and love, fam.
Peace out.
Peace.
No, I'm going to be at the show. First of all, I was just at a
I can tell you are real when I first saw
that's why I was just at that show.
good environment to get you over my you got taste, wanna be the lawyer on your case, just to please, not guilty, and let love be your juice.
I just saw your page.
I don't wanna change.